Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another one of our webinars, which we hold here at the Sandton City offices in Johannesburg, South Africa. For those of you who are joining us for the first time tonight, great to have you on board. Just a reminder before we get going, the webinars that we run are specifically for novice traders. So it's designed to assist you finding your feet right from the scratch, as it were, getting used to the platform you're going to be using, how to set up stop losses, take profits, set up trades. Later on in one of my future webinars, I'm going to be doing things like how to set up your profiles. And last but most certainly not least, we will also cover how to trade Kruger Rand. But tonight, I'm going to be repeating one of the webinars we held some time ago. And due to public demand, we're rerunning this one. And that is, how do I familiarize myself with the MetaTrader 4 platform? What is it all about? How do I get started? I've never traded in my life before. Well, folks, you know what? Before I get there, let me give you a couple of do's and don'ts when it gets to trading. You must remember that when you're trading foreign exchange is, yes, there is an element of risk. So you must not go and try and trade something you don't know anything about. Secondly, if you find that you are having to use your last cent, as it were, to fund your account, then this is not for you. It's not going to be your quick road to riches. You're not going to become a millionaire overnight. It takes patience. It takes dedication. You've got to go and self-study, subscribe to courses or magazines, or it doesn't matter what you do, but education plays a vital role. Okay, as we go through the webinars, we're going to be covering some more of the do's and don'ts of trading and how you can become a successful full-time trader. And yes, this can be a full-time occupation for you. So without further ado, let's go straight on ahead. I've got quite a lot to cover tonight, and I don't want you guys falling asleep there in your great comfortable couches while I'm sitting in my most uncomfortable office chair. I'll have to speak to Irfan about this to get me something more comfy and decent to sit in. Hint, hint, Irfan. Okay, here we go. First things first. When you've opened up your live account, you've funded your live account with the bare minimum, which is about $500 or whatever you would like to fund it with. That is entirely up to you. Obviously, you need to have a platform that you have to activate so you can trade. And the platform you're going to use is exactly the same as the one that you use to do your demo trading on. All right, the only thing you're going to do, the only difference, shall I say, is that at the click of a button, you can swap from your demo to your live account and vice versa. But I'm going to show you some very important things. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the platform. And I hope everybody can see that nice and clearly over there. Okay, and by the way, we are busy recording this. Let's go and show everybody my screen. I think we've all okay. Yes, everything's looking absolutely fine. Great. I am muting all of you. Reason being that in the past when we had the mics on, we had a terrible feedback and it was awful. I couldn't hear a word people were saying. They couldn't hear me. So it was pretty frustrating. So I have got you all on mute. However, if you want to find out a little bit more or you need some one-on-one assistance, please just email me. Send it to support@acmgold.com. That is support@acmgold.com. Attention, Tony. And then I'll get in touch with you. If you'd like me to give you a call, please put your telephone number in there as well. Even if you're an existing client, it just speeds things up so I don't have to go search through the whole bunch of records trying to find out now who this dude is that's trying to get hold of me. So come on, guys, just give me your telephone number. Okay, come on, let's get going. So first things first, let's have a look at our platform. Tonight we're going to look at your most important features on the platform. Now obviously when I look at the platform, there you have a massive variety of icons or buttons, as I like to call them, that you're going to be making use of with time. But I'm going to show you 4 of the most important ones right now. The first one is, obviously, I need to know when I am trading on here, where are my currency pairs? Now, you can't trade your currency pairs or do anything unless you've actually activated the platform first. And in order to do that, how will I know if my platform has not been activated? Quite simple. If you look towards the bottom right-hand corner, it will say invalid account. That simply means you haven't done the first step. Very, very easy to fix up. How do I do it? Go to the top left-hand corner, click on File, select Login, and then over here, remember, you'll have 2 different sets of login details, one for your demo, one for your live. Keep those emails in a safe place. Please, guys, you'd be amazed how many people contact me saying, I can't log in, I don't know where my details are. Guys, just store it, because it's something you're going to use on a regular basis. Okay, so now I'll put in my login details. I'll copy and paste. Notice, copy and paste my password. Reason being, it's very easy to make a mistake, and these things are cap sensitive. So if you make one little mistake, it's going to kick you out and say that the account is invalid. You're going to get frustrated. We're going to get a very nasty call from you, and we don't want that to happen. Next, you need to select Gold Demo. If you're activating your demo account, save the account information, or if you're going Gold Live, there we go. Put in your live details. So if you have a 520 number, that is your demo account. If you have a 529 number, that will be your live account. And that's it. Now we're up and ready. The platform is activated, and let's have a look at the first one. The very first one I'm going to show you is called the Market Watch. The Market Watch is where you will find all of your currency pairs. Easy way to remember? Well, let's go to the top there. Does everybody see over there my arrows, the green arrow going up and the red one coming down? If I put my cursor on there, it says Market Watch. Let's watch what the market is doing. Is it going up or is it coming down? Okay, nice and easy. Watch what happens when I click on there. Okay. When you activate your account for the very first time, you're not going to see all of those over there. You'll probably only see 6 or 7 of them, and you're going to think, what on earth is happening? I mean, is this all they have to trade with? The answer to that is no. You need to activate it. And it's only the first time you go onto the platform that you will need to do this. You would have to follow this procedure on the demo account as well as the live account, but it'll only be once that you do this. So, simple. Choose any currency pair. It doesn't matter. Any currency pair, click on it, right click, and go down, show all. Got that? Click on the currency pair, right click, show all, and voila, you're ready to go. And there we have our currency pairs. And as I scroll down, let's have a look there, and it gets more and more fancy. We've got some really amazing things over here. And by the way, look at this one here with the green. XAU USD, XAG USD. Now, for those of you who did science at school, think of the symbols on the periodic table. What was your symbol for gold? It was AU, not so. So, there we go. X, obviously standing for Forex. AU, and the currency you're going to be using there, USD. All right, and AG is the next one. That was for silver. All right. You're probably wondering, why are these things all color-coded? Well, what they've tried to do is try to make it easier for you by sort of sorting them out in groups or categories, as it were. All right, and if you go right to the top, you'll see, look at that there. These are the big boys. When you're a novice trader, stick to the big boys. Don't go and be fancy and go with the exotic pairs, etc., etc. There's two reasons. Number one, when you stick with the big boys, they are cheaper to trade with. Number two, they are easier to read and follow. Most of your professional traders trade the big guns. Now, I don't know if you've been watching the market the last week, week and a half, but there's been some amazing things happening on the market, especially if you looked at the euro dollar and the pound dollar. Last night in particular, if you haven't had a chance, go and have a look at your pound dollar and euro dollar and see what happened to the dollar. It was actually quite amazing. Whoever was trading last night on a live chart and called it right, today they are still smiling because that was a killing of a trade time to go through. Okay, so there we go. Market watch out of the way. Now we're finished. Next thing you would want to know is, now how do I find my currencies? Where's my money? How do I trade? Which is my demo account? Which is my live account? Let's go to the top there. You'll see there is a little folder with a gold star. This is how I remember it. Gold star, gold, money. That's where my account is. And when I open it up, if we look on the left-hand side there, my little man is wearing a green jacket. If he wears a green jacket, it means it's a demo account. How can I be sure? Easy. Everybody go to the top of your charts, and you'll see there it says demo account. If it does not say demo account, you're not on a demo account. You are live. Be careful. Don't fall into the trap that so many people do, where they think they're on the demo account, they go crazy and wild with their trades, and meantime back at the ranch they're actually trading on a live account. So please be very, very careful about that. Okay, and how do I swap between the two? Simple. You just double click on the one you want to go into. You can have your live and demo account on the same platform, not a problem. Only difference being, let's go back here. You see my little man's wearing a green jacket. Green for okay, all clear. If he's wearing a gold jacket, that is your live account. And when you click on your live account, you log in, you'll notice that at the top there, it won't say live account. It will just say client terminal. Everybody happy with that? With time, guys, I'm not going to go through the rest of the indicators and expert advisors, etc., because I don't want to confuse you. I just want to show you the basics tonight. Okay, we're having fun again with the settings, so I do apologize for that. I'm going to show you the basics so you can get going. And with time, you'll learn how to use those others. So let's close the navigator. The third one I want to know, and this is the icon or button you're going to use the most, and this is your terminal. Now let's go back again. There's my guy with the gold star. Next to it, we've got my terminal. Okay, terminal, think of it. Terminal is your history of your trades, live trades or closed trades. That's where you'll find it. So if I look at that, I click on it. Did you see what happened at the bottom of the screen? That all disappeared. Now that doesn't help me. If I've got a live trade in, I cannot see whether I'm in a plus or a minus. What's happening? Have I set my stop losses and take profit? I won't know. So let's go over there, shall we? Okay. Now, while you're fiddling around there, give me a few seconds as I wash down the gremlins in the throat, and we'll be back. And I promise you this is proper water, so don't worry so much. Great stuff. Okay, so at the bottom now, as soon as you've opened it, you will see your balance will show. Now in this case, I'm using my demo account. When your live account is open and funded, that is where I'll see my live balance. Whenever you're doing trades and you bank your trade, your funds or your profits will go into the balance. Okay, it doesn't automatically go and pay into your bank account. You actually have to apply for that by going online, but that's, I'll say, for another webinar. So that is where I will see my balance over there. If I'm on the trade, everybody look in the bottom left-hand corner, trade. That is where I have to click on in order to see any live trades that I have right now. The next one, account history. Aha, there we go. This is where all the activity is taking place, and there you can see any trades that I've done, when I did them, were they buys, were they sells, what was the currency pair, how big was the size of my trade. And if you are curious, you'll notice that on stop loss, take profit. Stop loss, if a stop loss kicked me out of that trade, it'll come up with a pink. If my profit kicked me out, it'll come up with a green. Okay. Now, next time we chat, I'm actually going to go into how to do these trades, and specifically, I'm going to teach you how to set your stop loss and take profit. Vitally important. If you want to be a successful trader, follow the basic rules we teach you. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Don't try and be clever and try and trade without stop losses and take profit. I warn you, you're going to burn your fingers. If you're not careful, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to burn your fingers. So please, they are there. They are your safety nets. That much said, let's move on. The last button I want to show you, let's close this one for now so I can have maximum screen. And by the way, this is why I'm showing you this, because when you're working with a MetaTrader 4 platform, you want to have maximum space when you're sitting analyzing your graphs. All right. If I've got all these add-ons, if you want to call it that, it's wasted space. So for now, I'm not using them. Put them on the side. I know where I can find them. If I want my market watch, there it is, the arrows. If I want my navigator, my money, there it is. Okay. And last but not least, if I want to now go into my live trades, then obviously I'll open up the terminal. Everyone happy with that? Fantastic. Now we get to the best of it all. When we actually place an order and how we do it, this is just one of the methods you can do it. You would click on New Order. Right. Now I'm going to briefly go through your volume sizes because this is very, very important. The next time we chat, I'm going to go back into this, but then I'm going to show you how you can analyze your markets by zooming in and zooming out, etc., and thereby deciding which direction do I trade. First things first, you have 3 different groups of trade sizes or volumes, as it's better known. The first one you have is the smallest of the lot. If I click over there, 0.01, that is my micro lot. It's a unit of 1,000. And what it basically means is when I'm trading that size there, I'm earning 10 cents a pip. Okay. Now, before I go to the next one, let me quickly pause and explain to you what is a pip. This is very, very important. In trading, we use the 4th decimal place. In other words, let's explain it this way. If I had to take a 1-cent coin and I had to chop it up into 100 pieces, each piece is 1 pip. So that's 1/100th of a cent. Let's look at our graph over there. Let's look at my example. So it's 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 7 you see over there. All right, this is changed to an 8. That is my pip value. Okay, so if it's moving up or down by 1 point or 1 pip, I'm either making or I'm losing 10 cents on the trade. The same obviously over here, that 2, that is my pip value. If you look at the next one, the 5th decimal place, that is called a pipette, and that is a percentage of your pip. When we do the calculation the next time on how to set your take profit or your stop loss, I'll show you how important that part is over there. But for now, let's just concentrate on how to set my volume size. So to refresh, 0.01, that is 10 cents a pip. It's a micro lot and it's a unit of 1,000. Next size I get, if I look here, it doesn't give it to me, so I have to type it in. And that is 0.10. 0.10, that is equivalent to $1 a pip. $1 loss or profit depending on what direction I move, and it is what we call a mini lot. In other words, a unit of 10,000. Okay. Last but not least, here's the big boy, and this is the one you must be careful of. 1.00, especially if you have a small account. If you accidentally choose this and you think, okay, 1.00, okay, that's $1 a pip. It's not. It's $10 a pip. $10. So that is your standard lot size. It is a unit of 100,000. Be very careful if you choose that one to trade with, because every pip or point movement, you're either making or losing $10 a pip. Be very careful. Make sure that you understand your volume size. Next, how am I going to trade? Am I going to do market execution, or am I going to do a pending order? Now, I'm not going to cover pending orders tonight, so I'm going to just focus on the easiest one for now, market execution. If I want to put my trade in immediately so that when the market is moving in, I want to jump in right now. What do? I select market execution and it'll go in straight away. But then I have to decide one very important factor. Am I going to buy or am I going to sell? If I'm buying, I'm going up. Okay, easy way to remember this. Blue, up is going to the sky, I'm buying. If the market is dropping and I want to sell, now let's look at the right hand of this. You see that red there? That would be a sell market. So I now want that currency to decrease in value, so I would go and put in a sell. So I've decided how big my volume is. I decide whether I want to buy or sell, and I submit the order, and Bob's your auntie, your order will be live, but we're not going to do that now. You just need to understand how this works. I want to cover something quickly before I go into the final section of the webinar, and that is, when I look at the currency pair, people often ask me, okay, how do I know which currency this is? Right, let me spend a bit of time there. First things first, let's look in the left-hand corner here. We have the pound dollar, and an easy way to remember this is the movement you are seeing on this graph is the movement of the currency on the left-hand side. In this case, it is the pound, which is your base currency, and that's the strongest currency of the two. Obviously, your graph will look different for every other currency pair that you may follow. That is very important to remember. Okay. In this case, we see it is busy coming down. So with it coming down, that means the pound is getting weaker. And what happens to the dollar? Exactly the opposite. The dollar is getting stronger. Okay, so if I look at, let's look at this beautiful candle. This is what happened last night, by the way. It was actually quite amazing. Now, there, suddenly the pound shot through the roof. And the dollar, well, the dollar got a hiding of note. But of course, as we know, the Americans, they don't go down without a fight. Eh? So now we can see they're busy fighting back now and trying to regain ground, as it were. But this is the beauty of when you're trading foreign exchange. You can trade when the market is going up or when the market is coming down. The choice is yours. ACM Gold uses a system called straight-through processing. In other words, you, the trader or client, are in charge of your own trades at all times. We do not advise you when to trade, what to trade, etc. We're not allowed to because we do not have a Category 2 license. Okay, and quite frankly, we don't really want one because it's pretty risky because you're working with other people's money. So in this particular instance, you, the client, are in charge of your own trades. You decide what currency pairs. You decide how big my trade is going to be. You decide when you want to go in, when you want to jump out. How do you set your stop loss, take profit? That is entirely up to you. The hardest thing is, when do I decide enough is enough for the day? And that is often very difficult to decide, especially when you have a market that looks like this. You see, now it's even trying to hide that away because it's trying to confuse you. When you've got a market that looks like this, wow, that is absolutely amazing. Do you hold on? Do you bank? And talking about that, remember, if you have a live trade and you have a healthy balance in your trade, okay, in the live trade note, remember one very important factor. That profit that you see in that live trade is not yours until you bank it. I'm going to repeat this. You can have a huge profit in your trade, but whilst it is alive and you have not banked it, that money is not yours yet, because it can turn in a heartbeat. So please keep that in mind. And remember, there's two things that are the greatest enemies of traders: fear and greed. Very, very dangerous little characters. All right, so let's keep that in mind. I'm about to close for the evening now, and I just want to show you two more things. Remember, this is to familiarize you with how the MetaTrader 4 platform works. If you understand how the platform works, the rest will slowly but surely fall into place. I'm looking at a Japanese candle right now. Let's go to the top, and you'll see if I click over there, I have a bar chart. Okay, not a very attractive chart to follow. I'm sure you'll agree with me. Okay, and quite simply, now there we've got the bar going up. That would be in the opening price, that would be in the closing price, and it actually shot past the opening and closing prices. Okay, personally, I don't like them. I don't like the line chart. It doesn't really help me that much. This is why I personally like the Japanese candle, as do many people. Okay, so let's quickly look at the candle. Let's look at this chappy over here. We are looking at a 1 hour chart. So let's go have a look here. Here are your time zones. Okay, H1, 1 hour. 1 hour. Go to the bottom, 1 hour. And if you still don't know what it is, right at the top, H1, guess what? 1 hour. Okay, cool. So now, what we are saying is that every candle you see over here, that represents 1 hour's movement at that particular time for what? For that currency pair. And I can change it to 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 minute if I want to. Okay. Now, for a novice trader, I wouldn't recommend trading on a 1 minute graph. It'll drive you batty, I promise you, because the movement is so quick and you really know what you need to know what you're doing. So go to your 15 minute, maybe a 30 minute candle, and there, you know, you can sit down and analyze it nicely without trying to drive yourself into an absolute frenzy. Okay, now, if I look at the top there, that was the closing price. But then you'll say, hang on, why has it got a spike on it? And some of them have got spikes on the top and the bottom. It means that in that 1 hour, it actually shot past the closing price. But wait, now there's something different here. Now there's something, what's this cross over here? This looks like really weird. That little chappy has got a nickname. It's called a doji. And you'll see there, that little crossbar, it means that the opening and closing price was exactly the same, although it shot past the opening and closing price. And obviously the same applies to the candles coming down. And you can decide how to set your background, etc. on this. You want to zoom in and zoom out. There it is over there. Okay, that's entirely up to you. Okay. And I've decided to have a white background with my blue candles going up, my red candles coming down. You can have it whatever colors you want to. I'm going to close by showing you one last thing, and that is, how do you open up a new currency pair? In this particular case, I'm using the pound dollar. Let's assume you don't want to trade pound dollar, you want to trade something different. How do I set it up? Well, let me quickly show you. We're almost finished. Let's go back to where the market watch, there it is over there. Okay, and let's assume I want to open up euro dollar. Okay, so I'll go to my euro dollar, right click, and I then say chart window. Now suddenly it looks totally different. Okay, got my chart window there. Now I can start doing some adjustments. So do I need my market watch? No, I don't. So let's get rid of it. There, now I've got maximum space. First things first, I want to tidy this chart up over here. It's very, very messy and too busy with too many lines and things like that. So I click on my chart, I right click, and I say grid, or you can go Control G. Okay, there we go. Now it's looking a lot tidier than what it was. Next thing, let's quickly zoom in and see what we got here. Oh, what have we got? Okay, we've got a bar chart. Right, don't like the bar chart. Let's go to the Japanese candle. Ha, much, much better. Okay, then if I want to change my colors, the background, the candles, etc., click on the chart anywhere, doesn't matter. Right click, go to properties, and now I can change. Okay, just want to quickly show you something. Let's move that out the way so we can look at these candles. You'll see it gives you the option of a bull candle and a bear candle. Let's think of the animal in real life. A bull charges you. What is he going to do? He's going to try and hook you up with his horns, eh? He's going to shove you one. All right. So now we go and we say, right, a bull candle goes up. There we go. Let's have a look at it. There's my bull candle. I can go and I can change the color if I so choose. Let's give it a medium sea green color, for example. Okay. Next thing. Let's assume I go and I say, right, I want to have a bear candle. Now remember, a bear in real life is bigger than a man. He's going to tower above you when he attacks you, and he's going to hit you down with his paws. Not so. So the white candles in this case are coming down, so those will be bear candles. So I'm going to change the bear candles, and I'm going to change them to, let's make them a nice yellow. How about that? There we go. So now I'm quite happy with this. I can change my background if I want to, or I can select going to one of the color schemes that are already set there. In this case, I'm going to leave it as it is. Okay, and I say okay, and then it will, oh, I didn't change it properly. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, that was good. All right, so let's go to my bull candle. I'm going to go for this nice blue, and my bear candle, I'm going to go for a bright yellow, and I say okay, and there we have it. Now, why am I showing you this? Well, I want to try and make it easier for you, so whenever you open up a new currency pair, all you have to do is, once you've done all this work, setting up your graphs, etc., do yourself a favor. Go to the top here. It looks like a mini graph. Templates. Select Save Templates and give it a name. All right? You can use example 1, example 2, whatever. It's entirely up to you. I'm not going to save this one because I already have a couple of them saved. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is, now I've gone in here, I'm going to open up my examples. All right, I have 4 examples, and I'm going to go for Tony 3. Okay, there I've gone for that one. All right, and I might decide, nah, I don't want that one. All right, let's go for Tony 2. Okay, but it makes your job so much easier. Finally, let me just remind you once again, trading can be a lot of fun, okay? It's a brand new experience you're letting yourself in for, especially those of you who are coming in for the very, very first time. Remember one very important thing. Yes, there is a risk involved, but you can minimize and control your risks by following the rules and regulations that we teach you. In other words, use your stop loss, use your take profit, trade wisely, trade carefully. Don't fly too high too quickly. In other words, when you see you're doing well on a trade, suddenly push your volume through the roof. It can turn against you in a heartbeat. So think sensibly. Educate yourself. I can't emphasize that more. Educate yourself. Read up. Google. I mean, there is so much information out there. MetaTrader 4 is not the only platform. There's a lot of other platforms out there. We prefer using the MetaTrader 4 platform, well, for one simple reason. It's a very user-friendly platform. I'm going to say bye-bye for you for now. And just to remind you, if you do have any queries, I'm not taking any questions tonight because we are recording this. And we are actually trying to keep this as short as possible. And what we are going to be doing is over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be recording some professional material, which we're going to be putting together. There will be 4 sessions in a 1-hour batch, as it were, and you will be able then to download these and keep them. All right. So any questions you might have, please send them to support@acmgold.com. That is support@acmgold.com. Or if you're in South Africa and you want to give us a call here at the offices, we're here Monday to Friday from 8 until 5 or later, as it is right now. 011 784 0603, or quite simple, why don't you just go along to our website and you click there for a free callback. That's how simple it is. If you want to attend any of the future webinars, the same way you registered tonight, just go to the website. There's my mugshot. All right. You'll see the date for the next webinar. Click register now, complete the details, and we'll see you next time. That's it from me. Good night and good luck with your trades. Cheers, everybody.